Rebecca Zimmerman, Team Zimmerman, Adams Cameron & Company Realtors, here for your February Market Watch. So it's an interesting time in the housing market right now. We have a presidential election coming up, and we also have the thoughts of a recession, which I'm going to talk about here. So projections for 2020 have been a little interesting. What I have to report to you today, I think, will be a pleasant surprise. So let's dig right in. We're going to talk about mortgage rates, we're going to talk about housing prices, and we're also going to talk about sales. So let's start with mortgage rates. Projections from experts at the National Association of Realtors, the Mortgage Bankers Association, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac all forecast mortgage rates to remain stable through 2020. As you can see here, we are currently at 3.7%, which is outstanding. The interest rates are low. If you are interested in locking in on this low interest rate right now, whether it be a refinance or buying your first home or buying your dream home, selling your home and buying a dream home, or downsizing to something that's a little bit smaller. Now is a really good time to take advantage of these low interest rates. Give us a ring. We have some really good mortgage brokers in the industry that we work with closely that can help you out with that. Speaking of interest rates, for the last decade, we have been below 5%. So let's talk about why is this such a great thing right now. Compared to the last decade, interest rates, let's do a little review here. Interest rates in the 70s were 8.86%. The 80s were at 12.7%. The 90s were at 8.12%. And the 2000s average around 6.29%. So as you can see, we are historically low in our interest rates right now. So that's great news. Let's also talk about home sales. Here are some numbers for our home sales. 3 of the 4 expert groups noted here predict an increase in home sales in 2020, and the 4th sees transactions remaining stable. Great news, of course. Home prices. Here are some projections for home prices. Projections from 6 different expert entities that look closely at home values, which are CoreLogic, Fannie Mae, Zellman's Z Report, the National Association of Realtors, Freddie Mac, and the Mortgage Bankers Association. Each group has values continuing to improve through 2020, with 4 of them seeing price appreciation increasing greater than it did in 2019. Also great news. So, is the recession coming? A lot of market experts have been projecting that we're going to see, they projected in 29 that we would see a recession in 2020, so much so that they did a survey, and the results from that survey were a prediction of 50% chance that we were going to have a recession in 2020. Well, last month I did a projection and showed you some slides that had those projections down to 34.2%. So now I'm here today in February to report that many market experts are rethinking the possibility of a recession in 2020. For example, Goldman Sachs in their 2020 U.S. Outlook explain markets sounded the recession alarm this year, and the average forecast now sees a 33% chance of a recession over the next year. In contrast, our new recession models suggest just a 20% probability of a recession in 2020. More great news. So I have today to offer you is all great news about the stability of our housing market and moving forward in 2020. What does that mean? That means that interest rates are continuing to stay low, under 4%. Housing prices continue to grow. Sales continue to grow. We're in a healthy market. And if you're interested in buying or selling or upgrading or downsizing, this is a really good time to do it. Looking forward to working with you. If you have any other questions about the market or real estate, we're here to help. And kicking off 2020 with a great year. Talk to you next month.